Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be a follow-up video to my right hand technique video where I talked about some right hand technique positionings and how to, kind of think about where you're putting your right hand and what you're doing with it. And I'm actually going to be talking about holding a pick, which obviously starts as a beginner, but there's some more advanced stuff in there that I'm going to try to work in. So stick around. First, let's talk about how I hold a pick, and I'll do a close-up of this, but basically, you want to make a U with your finger. And for me, I use this first knuckle right here, right? So if I were to actually be painting or writing out and using this first knuckle as kind of my guiding point or my pencil point or whatever, and I take my pick and I point it in the same direction as that knuckle. All right, so if that makes sense. Boom. Let's get a little bit closer. So, that was a little bit of a dramatic version of what I'm talking about. This would be more of my playing depth. Now, what that does allow me to do, if I take my thumb up, I'll show you guys here. I have a ton of pick on my finger back here, right? So it allows me to put different pressures on the front side of my pick, the back side of my pick, right? Just by grip, just by my thumb. So just by putting forward pressure and backward pressure, not necessarily changing my grip, doing anything differently, can get a lot of control from that. Now, let's talk about pick thickness and why I want to use a thicker pick with some examples of playing on the mandolin and what it sounds like and what you'll run into with thinner picks versus what I typically use for my pick. First, let's look at a pick I feel like everyone has used. A Fender medium, big triangle pick. The example I'm going to show here really quickly is going to be kind of how the pick goes through the strings. There's so much energy wasted. You have to work a little bit harder to get the pick to do what you want it to do, and there's a little bit of a lag. This next pick is what I would suggest for a beginner who doesn't want to spend a ton of money. Get a little bit thicker pick that you can actually use to go through both strings at the same time. It's almost impossible to get a thinner pick to really give you a great tone on the mandolin. And here we have the current pick that I'm using daily. It's a high-end pick, so I did spend a little bit of money on it. But when it comes to going through the strings, as you can see here, really not a lot of wasted movement by my hand. And that's going to be because of the pick. So, a pick's thickness is not the only characteristic it can have that'll actually help you in this economy of movement mindset, right? There's bevels, there's all types of things with these high-end picks that'll actually offer you a large advantage on just a plastic pick. I encourage you to look into those things. I'm not here to sell you a pick, but at the same time, there are advantages to having these picks. So, let's talk about something a little bit more advanced when we're talking about holding picks. All right. We've got the U, we've got our pick, we're holding it similar to what I showed you earlier. when we're doing tremolo for one, and I break that down to a really slow movement, I'm really using pressure, slight pressure on my thumb for down and up strokes. If I catch it right, it'll start to kind of feed into itself with this like rebound, almost similar to if you think of how a drumstick would hit the drum head, and when it would bounce, the drummer wouldn't want to not use that energy up to go back down, right? Similar thing here. And that will come in handy as you try to tremolo double stops. Because trying to go through two sets of strings, there's going to be some recoil. Like your hand wants to go back up a little bit. And you can use that to kind of So if we take that tremolo idea from earlier, and we just add more notes to this, it can become a triplet pattern even. Next, let's look at how the kind of economy of movement works with cross picking. I'm just going to do the most simple version. See, that downstroke puts you in line to pick an upstroke. Thank you all for watching the video. I very much appreciate it. If you'd like to support the channel, the easiest way to do that is going to be to like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, I have a Patreon available with different memberships. I'm trying to put more content up there, so you would encourage me if you go subscribe to that as well. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. And